Hi there, welcome back. In this lecture, we used API provided by MetaMask. We have called a function ethereum.request, which made a request to our MetaMask wallet in our browsers and asked us to log in and connect with our account. Now when we are connected, we can continue and we can do some additional setup because we are still not done yet. As you can see here, with the window.ethereum or window.web3, we will have a limited access to Ethereum blockchain or to any blockchain we'll be connecting to. To provide more access, what we need to integrate will be Web3.js library, dedicated library. So let's search here for a Web3.js. All right, and here in this here Web3.js Ethereum JavaScript API, you will have a more access when you will integrate it with the API that's provided with the MetaMask. Okay, so Web3.js collection libraries that allows you to interact with a local or a remote Ethereum node. Okay, so that's what we need to install. Let's click here, get started. And we just simply copy this command npm install web3. Okay, you can see here, you have a set of libraries you can use. Okay, and we can go to terminal and we can just simply paste it here and install web3. We don't need to provide here that dash save command. I think this should be automatically added into your package.json. So when you will go to package.json, it should be here automatically. You can see here dependencies. Here is here is Bulma and Web3. Web3 should be here very soon, I think. Package.json. Yeah, Web3 is here. Perfect. Okay, now when we have a Web3, we can import it into our app.js. So up here under app.css, let's import here Web3 from Web3. Perfect. Now we can continue with the loading of our provider. I will remove these comments because they are not necessary right now. And we'll be doing here some if statements. Okay, so I'll write here if statement, and first we'll be checking if we have a window.ethereum in the context. As you know from the previous lecture, we have window ethereum in the context. So I'll write here this if statement. Then we'll be checking here because there are some legacy APIs that they are using in the MetaMask. So let's write here else if, and in an else if we'll be checking if we have a window.web3. Okay, so if this case will be not successful, we would like to go with this if statement. Okay, so if this if statement is not successful, we can want to check for a window web3. If still we don't have a window web3 here, so no API are injected here, we'll go with the another else if statement. Another else if statement, and we'll be checking here if we are in a development environment. So we'll write here exclamation mark, and I will check here if we are not in the production process.env.production. Okay, now in all these cases, we need to get here this API object from a context, from a window context. So I'll write here let provider. Will be initially null. I'll be assigning to this provider context on our window object. So in this case, if we have a window.ethereum injected, which we currently have, we'll just simply get here provider, and I will assign here window.ethereum. Okay. Now we'll go with the Web3. With the Web3 is a little bit different. So this is case only for some legacy MetaMask accounts, okay, for some MetaMask applications. Here we'll write a provider and equal window.web3 and that current provider. Okay, because remember, users can have in the browsers different version of the MetaMask. This is for the newest version. You can get a window Ethereum, but in some legacy MetaMasks, you don't have a window Ethereum, but you have the provider you have under Web3 current provider. Okay, and in a case we are in a Ganache, this will be completely different. We'll write here provider, and you can get here a new web3.providers.http provider, and simply you will provide here your HTTP location of your Ganache. This will be http://localhost 7545. But in general, we should go with this first case in most cases because we should have in the newest MetaMask window Ethereum, so our provider will be window.ethereum. Okay, perfect. So what we want to do now, since we'll be having injected this Web3, that will basically a new instance we'll be using in our application, I will add it to the state so we can keep the track in the state of this Web3. I'll create here const. I will call it in the square brackets. I will use here use state, so we can get here state. All right, and in the state we'll be keeping, let's say, provider, which will be initially null, and then we'll have here web3, which we'll be using globally, and will be also null initially. And then we'll call it, I will call this state web3 API, and the function to set it state will be set web3 API. Perfect. Okay, with that in place, now we can set here this new API. So under all of these else if statements, we can write here set web3 API. All right, and we'll be setting here web3, which we can use globally. This will be new, as here we are writing new web3. All right, and we'll provide here provider object. Okay, stored here in these different cases. Okay, and then we'll also keep here track of a provider in some case we need it. Okay, this is just basically this injected window.ethereum or these other things here, but now we will have it just under provider keyword. Okay, but generally we'll be using this web3 here now globally. Okay, so that's loaded, perfect. And one more thing here, guys. We will remove this button here to connect to enable Ethereum, and I'll be connecting differently. Okay, I'll remove this button. Okay, and we'll go up here. And in a case we have a window.ethereum, I will request MetaMask to connect automatically. I'll write here, this can fail, so I'll write here a try catch statement like this, try and catch. All right, and in a try statement, I will write here await. And we'll ask here window, or actually in this case, we can just call here provider, right? So we'll ask here for a provider dot enable like this, and this should enable MetaMask. Okay, in a case it will fail, I will write here console.log, or rather console.error, so it's in a red letters, user denied account access. All right, so that should do a job. If we are in the window, if we have a window Ethereum, we can ask to enable MetaMask. Otherwise, we are going with these statements, and this will create a new instance of a provider which we are keeping in a state. So we should be able to get here Web3. So I could ask now for a Web3 API Web3. So I can write here console log Web3 API Web3. Okay, we can console log it out. All right, guys. So let's go to our browsers. Not this one. I'll go here, I will refresh here. Don't worry about these issues here. Enable is deprecated, we'll be using something else. This I found it in documentation, I will be changing in the next lecture for some other functions, so do not worry about this. Okay, but you can see our Web3 is here, and you can see you can use all of these functionalities available on your global Web3 object you are keeping on the state here, Web3. Okay, what we can also do, we can just try it out. Since we are connected to a MetaMask, we don't need to reconnect, and this is not asking us to reconnect, this try catch statement, even though we are enabling it. It's already enabled. So what I will do, I'll just click here on MetaMask, and here, when you click on a menu, you can click here log. This will basically log you out from your MetaMask. So I'll click here log, I am logged out, and I will refresh browser, and you will see you'll be automatically asked to load a MetaMask. So I need to provide here password. After I'm logged in, you can see I'm logged in and I have here a Web3 object. And all of my accounts are existing here as before, of course, and no changes here. All right, so that's some basic steps here. Remember, we can still make a request to blockchain only by using window.ethereum, but when you use here this Web3, you have much more functionalities and features you're able to use in your application. And this way, you will usually see it when you are creating the base structure of decentralized application. So you will get a provider from your Windows context, which is injected by MetaMask, and then you will create a new instance of Web3, which, as the data you are providing in, is your provider, your injected object by MetaMask. And this will provide more functionalities, and then we are storing it to the state, and in the state we can access it to the Web3 API. Web3, we have these functionalities available to us. Any questions, guys? Ask them. We'll continue in the next lecture. Cheers.